Alright, welcome back to the channel. Warhammer Man back in the studio, and today we're taking a look at some of the new Chaos Space Marine stats. We have the Possessed, officially released from Games Workshop, their stat line. So before we take a look, if you are into Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, or Horus Heresy, reactions, reviews, news, painting, modeling, conversion tutorials, make sure to like and subscribe. It's absolutely free and really helps out the channel. That being said, let's take a look. The new Possessed are living explosions of limbs, armor, and weaponry. Definitely a cool piece of art right there off the cover. All sorts of gnarly looking horrors were revealed at Warhammer Fest. From the warped mutants and torments to the bigger, badder astartes cousins, the Possessed. In the depths of the Eye of Terror, parasitic demon entities make unholy bargains with Chaos Space Marines to serve as their hosts. And soon armor the flesh flow together like molten wax. That's what happens if you spend too long brooding in the warp. So here we see the new Possessed models on display here. We've only seen a couple pictures of them so far and no stats until now. Sprouting massive horns, gaping maws, and razor-sharp talons in the place of redundant soft appendages, the Possessed pay no heed on the puny limitations of the merely transhuman physique. Look how happy they are to be free from the burden of cohesive form. While the heretic astartes are normally able to exert their will over the demonic parasites, the cacophony of battle and spilling of blood awakens the beast within. In a spasm of transforming limbs, they race off to tear their foes to shreds. Just check out the blistering 9-inch move characteristic. So here we see one of the models. This model looks fantastic to me. Honestly, I think they're great. They are the perfect blend of basically like demonic and also still like marine remnants. I think they all look great. You know, obviously you can have a favorite or something you don't like about one or the other, but they all look awesome. And the new Greater Possessed models that were in the box set, those are great too. So these are going to go right along with them, as from what I understand, they're blending them all into just regular Possessed, and they're all going to be the same stat line. So here we have Possessed stat line. Move is 9. So right off the bat, that's awesome. These things are fast shock assault troops and very durable. So weapon skill 3, ballistic skill 3, strength 5, toughness 5, wounds 3, attacks 5, leadership 9, and 3 up save. So these things have a beast stat line. 9 inches is extremely fast. Weapon skill, ballistic skill 3. I'm not sure what kind of shooting they will have, but weapon skill 3, obviously right in line with typical Space Marine. Strength 5 is great. It means they're going to be wounding Space Marines on 3s. Toughness 5, obviously great. They're going to be needing 5s to wound you. And then wounds 3. So we know the regular Space Marines, or in this case Legionaries, are going up to 2 wounds. So having 3 wounds is pretty good. A little tougher than a Marine, a little more durable, but not over the top, I don't think. And then attacks 5, that's stunning right there. So it means a unit of 5 of these bad boys are going to be dishing out 25 basic attacks. And then leadership 9, right in line with what you would expect, and a 3 up save. So very, very nice stat line for these bad boys. These exceptionally speedy amalgams of muscle and metal are also terrifyingly strong. With a wild assortment of limbs that give them a whooping 5 attacks, their hideous mutations are as deadly as they are disgusting, allowing the Possessed to tear apart enemy Space Marines to get to the gooey innards. So again, here we see another one of the models. Again, really cool. It has like a little bits of stuff we've seen in the previous kits. This was kind of like a similar arm, extra like little tentacles, a claw hand, pretty typical. The like weird tongue kind of out of the mouth. So very cool. Fits right in with a lot of the current range, etc. So we see the hideous mutations, which is obviously their melee weapons. We see strength as user, so it's going to be strength 5, AP -2, and damage 2. So these things are going to be dealing quite a bit of damage. Able to kill a Space Marine or a Primaris Marine in a single hit with 2 damage. And quite a few other, more like troop/elite units. The thing here that I think is a saving grace is that they're only AP 2. And with Armor of Contempt, it's going to take it down to AP 1. So a regular Space Marine is going to be saving on like 4 ups against this, which I think is fine. I think that's good. Now there are going to be, I'm sure, other rules built into either the codex or this, Possessed themselves that have extra AP, whether it's going to be like Rend, like type AP, extra AP on 6s to wound, or whether they'll have, a chapter tactic type rule or something like that, or maybe a stratagem for an extra 1 AP, etc. So I think it's pretty good overall. They're definitely strong. They're going to be able to deal a lot of damage, but they're definitely meant for a little bit lighter armor. You're not going to want to send these into a unit of Terminators, let alone, I think, honestly, what's going to happen if you send this unit into a unit of 10 Intercessors? They're probably going to do quite a bit of damage, but I'm not sure that they're going to be out here like wiping squads of Space Marines with only -2 AP and Armor of Contempt. So when it's all said and done, I think they're great models. I think they are great rule set, but they fill a certain niche. I think they're basically built to take out light armored, Space Marines or something equivalent to that. Anything that has 2 wounds and a 4-up or worse save is probably not going to want to end up in combat with these. If you have a 3-up or a 2-up save, probably not going to be nearly as afraid, to tell you the truth. So, and with a lot of units having -1 damage too, obviously not going to want to send these into them, because then they go back down to 1 damage. So, fielded in units of up to 10 models, including a diabolical possessed champion with an extra attack, these turbo threshers are ideal shock troops. They can also take a real beating. These ceaseless shifting of warped armor and anatomy gives the possessed formidable toughness 5, as well as 3+ wounds and save of 3+. As half demons, they're even given a 5-up invulnerable save. So obviously that is big for them. They typically in the past have had a 3-up 5++. So 3-up armor save, 5-up invulnerable save. Obviously that is still the case. Very big for them. Again, now you can send them a little more comfortably into a stronger unit, knowing that even that power weapon in the squad or power fist or whatever damage dealing weapon they have, you're going to have some kind of save against it. So again, now you're going to have the ability to, fight something that is a little stronger than you without having that same risk of death. Like a regular Space Marine unit or even an assault unit for Space Marines, typically not going to have an invulnerable save. So in this case, it's not going to make a big deal, because you're basically going to put them at -2, and then Armor of Contempt is going to take it to -1. So you're taking their 3-up save to a 4-up save. But if they have a Thunderhammer or Power Sword or something like that, where normally you'd be going from a 3-up to no save or a 6-up save, and then Armor of Contempt is going to take you to basically a 6-up or a 5-up, it's not bad. Now, the truth is, with a 3-up, 5-up save, essentially anything more than -2 AP takes you to your invulnerable save, because you have a 3-up, so -2 would take you to the 5-up. And with Armor of Contempt, it subtracts -1, so you're really only going to be using that save on something that hits you with -4 AP or more. So basically, like Meltaguns or really heavy equipment are going to be where this really steps in. So previously, I think the 5-up save was pretty strong, like the 5++ invulnerable. But to tell you the truth, with the 3-up save and Armor of Contempt now, again, it bridges that gap to where just to get to that 5-up save now, you need to have at least a -3 AP. And then if they're in cover, you need to have at least a -4 AP. So to tell you the truth, I think the 5-up save is still good. And there is a lot of stuff with high AP. But I don't think it's going to be like necessary in the same way as it was before, because I think the Armor of Contempt makes them really good. So the fact of the matter is the Armor of Contempt makes these guys so good overall that it kind of downplays the 5-up invulnerable save, because it's not going to be as relevant. But just having that 5-up invulnerable save is phenomenal. It's just like with like Aspect Warriors. Even though some of them have a 3-up save, a lot of times you're still going to end up on that invulnerable. But here, with that Armor of Contempt as well, I think it makes it even stronger. So I think these guys are going to be very durable. Having that fallback 5-up save, your standard 3-up save with Armor of Contempt, and then Toughness 5 and 3 wounds each, I think these guys are going to be very, very strong. So if they have another like -1 damage strat or exploding 6s or, extra rend ability, etc., they're going to be able to dish out some serious damage. So these Fleshy Fiends add amorphous panache to your Chaos Space Marine warbands, whether they're backing up a demonic Forge Fiend of the Black Legion or adding a melee punch to the Sonic Forces of Slaanesh alongside the Emperor's Children. So again, very good stats. Definitely a fan. As if it wasn't enough warp-fueled power for one unit, the Possessed can also let the galaxy burn, an awesome name for an awesome new ability shared by many units in the upcoming Codex Chaos Space Marines. You'll find out exactly what the rule does in the future article, so make sure to check back with us. So it doesn't specifically say what the Galaxy Burn does, but obviously going to be probably a strong army-wide ability. This picture is pretty awesome as well. Obviously has a bunch of the new possessed right here. We see a bunch of like the possessed cultist guys, and then the ones that have given in to the warp. And then we see, basically it looks like in the background here, we have like a start collecting chaos box, the previous one, because we have those same obliterators shown. So assuming that they are not getting a new kit, at least not in the near future, or maybe they would have pictured them. We see obviously the Venom Crawler from that same kit. The, what's his name? Infernal Master? Nope, that's not the right one. Master of Possession. And then we see the Greater Possessed back here in the background as well, and how good the aesthetic goes along with the new Possessed. So very, very cool. Oh, and of course a little Hell Chicken back there, Hell Drake as well. So really cool picture. Definitely looking forward to seeing what else Chaos has coming down the line. They got a ton of new models. Very exciting. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they repackage all this stuff. Because like you have like your Obliterators and your Venom Crawler are on a single sprue. The Master of Possession won't be a problem because he's separate. But the Greater Possessed and the 10 Space Marines that come in the kit are all on one sprue as well. So I don't know how they're going to do that. If they have new models coming, or if these are just going to go away and then the new Possessed take over. They have new models already for the Heretic Astartes. So the new squad takes over for them. And then maybe they, just repackage the Master of Possession won't be a big deal. But what do they do with the Venom Crawler and the Obliterators? Maybe they sell them in a pack, where it's just a Venom Crawler and 2 Obliterators. Just that single sprue, and maybe it's like $80 or something like that. I don't know, just a guess that they're going to do something like that. As currently, you cannot buy Obliterators at all, nor can you get a Venom Crawler, and those are both codex units. So one or the other is going to happen. They're either going to offer these units for sale somehow together, or they are like, a repackage type thing, or they're going to have new Obliterators and a new Venom Crawler coming out separately. And then, of course, the Infernal Master, it's super easy. They just basically throw him in a blister pack, and he's ready to go. So when it's all said and done, really excited for the new Chaos. These are great stat lines. I think they are going to be very strong. I think the -2 AP is the perfect sweet spot because it's going to be extremely powerful against non-Armor of Contempt armies. But against Armor of Contempt armies, it's really going to run into basically a brick wall. Because just figuring out the stats on these, assuming no special rules, stratagems, anything like that, not knowing what Let the Galaxy Burn is, 5 attacks each, 5 of these guys going into like an assault intercessor squad, let's say, you're going to have like 25 attacks with these guys. You're going to be hitting on 3s, so you're going to get roughly, 17 hits with them. And then after 17 hits, you're going to be wounding on 3s, so you're going to get roughly 12 wounds with them. And then at -2 AP becomes -1 AP, they're going to have a 50% save. So if you're doing 12 wounds, 50%, 6 are going to go through. It's going to kill 3 guys. So not bad. And then, those guys fighting back against you, how are they going to do? Well, let's say they have basically, 3 attacks each with their assault weapons at -1 from their chainsword is going to get negated. So 3 attacks each. Let's say there was 5 of them attacking back. Again, you're going to get 15. So you're going to get 10 hits, and then you're going to need 5s to wound now. So that's a big difference. So you're going to get roughly like 6 or 7 wounds. And then after that, the -1 AP from the chainsword is going to get negated by the 3-up save. Or the Armor of Contempt rather, and they're going to have 3-up saves. So you're probably going to do 2 wounds to these guys, not even kill 1. Obviously, if they have like a Thunderhammer or power weapon, it's going to change the dynamic a little bit. Obviously, if they're in Assault Doctrine, that makes them more potent against other armor, basically. But I think when it's all said and done, these guys are going to be strong. They're going to be able to take down regular Space Marines with decent amount of ease, and they're going to play really well into anything with like worse save, especially if it doesn't have Armor of Contempt. So very, very nice stat lines. Obviously, we need to see what the points are to get a more accurate idea and see some of the special rules and stratagems and everything. But the models look great. The stat lines look great overall. Seeing them with Toughness 5, 3 wounds, still having the 5-up invulnerable save, and then, of course, 5 attacks. Very strong. And I don't want to downplay it, but having 9 movement on a Space Marine unit is extremely powerful as well. So these guys are going to be very mobile, very fast, and going to be able to dish out quite a bit of damage. And even if they're not killing as fast as you would want, they're at least going to tie up key units and be pretty durable while they're in there. So very, very strong. You guys, let me know what you think down below. Are you excited for Chaos? Are you excited for these possessed? Do you like the new cultists? What are you thinking about how they're going to repackage or, have new models for the obliterators and the venom crawler? I think they're all great models. So I would love for them to just remake those. But if they put out a full kit, that would be awesome as well for either one of those. So, but that's it for today. If you did enjoy today's video, if you're into reactions, reviews, news, painting, modeling, conversion tutorials, make sure you check out the playlist. Everything from Warhammer 40,000, Kill Team Necromunda, Age of Sigmar, Warcry, and of course, some Horus Heresy with the upcoming release as well. But that's it for today. Make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and share. Warhammer Man Studios. I'm Warhammer Man, and I'm out of here.